Tally School. Learn Tally online easily at Tally School. Hi, Rishit Shah from Tally School, and in this video I'm going to explain you about debit note and credit note. Basically they are sales returns and purchase returns, but in Tally there is a way to create debit notes and credit notes. In most cases debit and credit notes are used whether you have returned the item which you have purchased or you got the item in return which you have sold. So whenever you sell something and you get the return of some goods, not whole goods, you create a credit note. And on the same time, if you have purchased something and you return some of the goods from them from whom you have purchased, you create a debit note for that person. So this is how debit note and credit note works. It is really simple and easy. Just take the example when you go and buy something from the shop and you come home. You don't want a certain item from which you bought. You go to the shopkeeper once again and you give that item to him, and he gives you a credit for that to buy something from him again in return for that item which you have given him back. So what he does is he is creating a credit note for you, and he writes the amount on that note and he gives it to you back. So he has sold items to you and you didn't like some of them, you returned them, he created a credit note. So he sold items to you, you returned some of the goods, he created a credit note. But in business this goes a step further. Say you are a business buying something from another business and then you didn't like something, so you gave it back. So that business created the credit note for you, and on the same time your business created a debit note in your accounts. So that is how debit note and credit note actually works. They are exact opposite of each other. And I'll be explaining how you can create debit note and credit notes in Tally in this video. So hang on and see what I'm doing. If you have not seen the video on creating sales and purchase vouchers, I am encouraging you to view it, because this video is totally based upon that. For debit note and credit note, you have to create a sales and a purchase voucher, and then you have to return it. So I've already explained in detail how you can create sales and purchase vouchers in Tally in another video which I've linked down in the description. You can click on that and see the video right now, and if you have seen that video you'll understand what I'm talking about. So in that video I've sold goods sum worth rupees 15,000 to Amit. Now Amit has returned me goods worth rupees 5,000, so I am creating a credit note for Amit. So first of all, to create a credit note you have to enable that option in Tally. So for enabling that option, from gateway of Tally press F11, that is for features, then go to accounting features, press enter, then come to use debit credit notes under invoicing. So it is set to no by default in Tally, so press Y and press enter, it will set it to yes. Use invoice mode for credit notes, press Y, enter, and use invoice mode for debit notes, press Y and press enter. Now we have enabled debit credit notes in Tally, and press Ctrl plus A to save that. So I'm pressing Ctrl plus A and I've saved that features. Now I'm coming back to the gateway of Tally by pressing escape. So I am in the gateway of Tally. Now let me first show you the sales entry which I've made in the previous video, so you can have a understanding. So I am going into profit and loss account, and in that video I have created a sales entry under domestic sales. So as soon as I press Alt plus F1, a detailed view comes up, and in domestic sales, if I go in once again by pressing enter, you can see I have sold to Amit goods of 15,000. Now Amit is returning to me goods of rupees 5,000, so I'll create a credit note for him. So let's go back to the gateway of Tally. This was the sales entry, and now come to the accounting vouchers and press enter. I'm already in the sales voucher, and we have to go to the credit note, which is F8, control plus F8, not F8, control plus F8. So press control and F8 and you will come in the credit note voucher creation menu or voucher creation screen. Select your preferred date and press enter. If you have invoice number, you can enter the invoice number. Let's say I have invoice number 15 and the date of invoice is also 1st April. Now in party account name, you have to select the party to whom you have sold goods. So in this case, we have sold to Amit. So I'll select Amit and press Ctrl plus A to skip all these details. Or you have all these details, you can enter it here and press Ctrl plus A after entering the details. So I'm pressing Ctrl plus A, and in here you have to select the sales account or sales item, whichever you have sold. So I had domestic sales, as I said earlier in this video, so I'll select domestic sales. I'll just write domestic sales and the amount of goods which he has returned. So 5,000 amount of goods he has returned to me once again. So I'm pressing 5,000 and press enter. Verify the amount 5,000 here. Press enter and you can enter the narration like goods returned by Amit for invoice issued on 1/4/15. Although these all details are here, original invoice date, invoice number, but still if you have to enter anything or if you want to enter anything, you can enter it here. Press enter and it will ask you to save. So press enter and save it. Now we have successfully created a credit note in Tally. So let's take a look once again. I've already shown you that sales were 15,000. Now it must have gone down to 10,000 because we have created a credit note, and that reduces the overall sales because we have not sold the goods worth rupees 5,000 which have been returned. We have actually sold only for 10,000 rupees. So if I go back by pressing escape, I press escape 3 times and then we have to go to profit and loss account, and if I go to sales account and press enter, I can see domestic sales is 10,000. Previously in this video it was 15,000. You can rewind this video and see that. So press enter in that and you can see the debit balance is 5,000, credit is 15,000. So overall sales balance is 10,000. So if you go in there once again, you can clearly see sales of 15,000 and credit note of 5,000. Because we have created a credit note, it will show up here. So it was as simple as creating sales. We just have to create a credit note in the credit note voucher, of course. So this is how credit note works. Now on the same hand, Amit in his account will create a debit note for us because he has paid us 15,000 but have returned the goods worth rupees 5,000. So we are liable to pay him 5,000 worth of goods or money or credit, whatever it is, and therefore we are his debtors and he is our creditor for this entry. So now Amit will create a debit note in his account. So I've created a company called Amit in Tally and I've already created the purchase entry because we are selling to Amit, so Amit is purchasing from us. And now I'll go in his company in Tally and create a debit note. So press escape and come back to the gateway of Tally. Press Alt plus F1. I'm pressing Alt plus F1 to shut this company and go to select company. Now already created, as I said, I've already created the company named Amit, so I'll select that and I'm in the company named Amit. Now let's first check the profit and loss account so I can show you that I've created a purchase entry. So I'm going down to the profit and loss account, press enter, press Alt plus F1 and you can see domestic purchases. Go ahead and press enter. So you can see he has purchased from me, Rishit, and the purchases of 15,000. Now he will create a debit note for 5,000, so his purchase will also be reduced by 5,000. So let's go to the vouchers. Okay, I'm on gateway of Tally. Now go to accounting vouchers and select debit note by pressing Ctrl plus F8. So as you can see, I'm not able to select the debit note because I have not enabled that in this company. So what I will do is press F11 and come again to that option and press Y, Y and Y, and then press Ctrl plus A. So now I've enabled the debit note and credit note in Tally. So now I'll select debit note here. So I'm in the debit note and original invoice number say 15, date is this. Now buy, it is Rishit, and press Ctrl plus A to save it and enter the amount 5,000 rupees. To domestic purchases, because the purchases will be reduced. So domestic purchases, and press enter. You can enter the narration if you want. I've already entered the narration in the previous entry. I will not enter here, but if you want to enter the narration, you can enter it here. Press enter and press enter once again to save the debit note. So I've successfully created a debit note in Amit's account for me, that is Rishit. So press escape and I'll show you the effect in profit and loss account once again. So come down to profit and loss account, press Alt plus F1. So as I already said, the domestic purchases will be reduced to 10,000 and it has reduced to 10,000. So if we go in there by pressing enter, we can see debit 15,000 which is purchase entry, credit 5,000 which is a debit note entry. So press enter and you can clearly see purchase from Rishit 15,000 and a debit note for 5,000 which has reduced the overall purchase to 10,000. And this is the exact opposite of credit note as I have shown earlier in this video. So this is how actually the debit note and credit note works in Tally. I'm sure you have understood in this video how debit note and credit note works. It is actually, in simple terms, purchase and sales returns. And every business has purchase and sales returns. And therefore, this function is very much useful for all of them. So if you are having purchase and sales returns, you can create debit note and credit note in Tally. So this was debit note and credit note in Tally, or you can call it purchase returns and sales returns entry in Tally. Whatever you call it, this is it. This is how it is done easily in Tally. So if you have liked this video and if you have learned something from this video, I am requesting you to share this video as far as possible. Share this on Facebook, share this on YouTube, share this on Google+, share this everywhere, share this on WhatsApp. Whatever you feel like, it will help them with whom you have shared and it will help me also. So please share it. And if you have any kind of doubt, any small kind of doubt, though it seems silly, you can ask me here down in the comment section. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can ask me there. If you are watching this on Tally School, you can also comment down on Tally School and I'll be really very happy to help you. In fact, I'll be more happy that you have questions, because anything new to learn, you must have questions. And therefore, comment down below your questions and I'll be very happy to help you. So this was debit note and credit note, and I'm sure that you have learned good amount of thing in Tally, and this is the basic thing you have to learn Tally. You have to learn Tally. Okay, this is kind of comedy. So thank you for watching. This is Rishit Shah signing off from Tally School. Thank you for watching.